In the heart of the United Kingdom lies a realm veiled in mystery and tradition. The British royal family's world is an intricate tapestry of rules, etiquette, and checks and balances, meticulously woven to safeguard their lifestyle from prying eyes. Amidst the guarded walls of palaces and castles, a trove of peculiar and eyebrow-raising protocols governs the behavior and appearances of royal members, from strict bans on acts in the royal family to regulations that are sometimes excessively cumbersome. This covers some of the most fascinating or possibly eyebrow-raising rules of the British royal family. Now, let's go through 18 insane rules that all royal family members aren't allowed to refuse. Number 1, wait for dinner. Gathering around the table for a sumptuous Christmas feast is a cherished tradition for families around the world, and the British royal family is no exception. Yet, amidst the grandeur and splendor of their holiday celebrations, lies a peculiar and somewhat amusing custom that has endured through generations. In a world where tradition and etiquette hold immense significance, one particular ritual stands out, a truly extraordinary, the royal family's practice of weighing themselves before and after the grand Christmas dinner. As the Yuletide season approaches, members of the royal family partake in a tradition that might raise an eyebrow or two. Prior to sitting down to enjoy the lavish spread, they dutifully step on the scales. And once the last morsel has been savored, they return to the scales once more. It's a quirk that dates back to the early 1900s, tracing its roots to the reign of Edward VII, the great great grandfather of the current monarch King Charles III. The motivation behind this unusual practice was not to enforce a strict regime or promote vanity. Rather, it stemmed from a desire to ensure the guests' utmost enjoyment during the festival meal. As royal expert Ingrid Seward revealed, King Edward VII initiated this tradition to guarantee that his cherished companions indulge to their heart's content and experience the full measure of joy that the holiday season brings. Number 2, boy or girl. In a world where gender reveals have become a celebrated and eagerly anticipated milestone for expectant couples, the British royal family marches to the beat of a different drum. While many parents to be eagerly announce the birth of their unborn child to family and friends, peculiar and time-honored tradition sets the royals apart, keeping the gender of the baby under lock and key under the moment of birth. In the enchanting realm of royalty, anticipation and mystery envelope the journey of pregnancy, transforming it into a delightful event for the public to engage in. Unlike the norm, where pink or blue decorations would give away the secret, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, and indeed the entire royal family, abstain from revealing the gender until the baby makes its grand entrance into the world. This intriguing custom not only adds an air of excitement but also stirs up the curiosity of the masses, prompting them to place their bets and indulge in friendly guesses on whether a little prince or princess is on the way. Although the times are ever changing and traditions inevitably evolve, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge have remained steadfast in adhering to this old age practice throughout multiple pregnancies. Number 3, toilet. No. Royalty is expected to maintain a certain level of formality in their conversations, which involves refraining from using certain words like toilet and pardon. Instead, they should use more refined terms such as lavatory and replace pardon with a more apologetic sorry, as stated in Harper's Bazaar. It appears that using the word toilet is considered quite shocking to the upper class English, possibly even more so the infamous F word. Consequently, it is an unwavering rule never to use the word toilet under any circumstances. It is an imperative guideline, not a mere suggestion, according to Jeremy Fine, the author of Regal Rules for Girls, as mentioned in The Cut. Additionally, royals are also expected to use the term sofa instead of couch, and they should refer to their designated sitting areas as a sitting room or drawing room, avoiding terms like living room, den, or lounge. Furthermore, when discussing someone's perfume, it is customary to use the term scent rather than perfume, as it sounds more natural, according to the report by Harper's Bazaar. Number 4. Don't fly. To safeguard the continuity of the royal lineage, it is strictly prohibited for direct heirs to the throne to travel together on the same flight. In the event the direct heirs, like Prince William and his children, desire to be on the same flight, they must first obtain special authorization from the reigning monarch, as stated in Express. Once Prince George reaches the age of 12, he will be mandated to fly separately from his father. This precaution is in place to minimize the risk of tragic plane accident, ensuring that only one heir would potentially be affected. Throughout history, the protection of royal succession has been a matter of paramount importance for monarchies. The requirement for direct heirs to avoid traveling on the same flight is rooted in the desire to prevent any catastrophic event that could jeopardize the continuity of the monarchy. This practice has its origins in the need to secure a clear line of succession and ensure the stability of the royal family. Number 5. 2 children. Royal couples are generally encouraged to have 3 or 4 children, but historically it has been common for members of the royal family to have at least 2 offspring. However, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge have defied this tradition by choosing to have 3 children of their own. And this decision has been met with acceptance and support from both Queen Elizabeth and other members of the royal family. The announcement of their third child was met with joy and delight. Number 6. Potty sitting. The call of nature can strike at any time, even for royals. However, when the need arises, they handle it with proper decorum and grace. You won't catch a royal announcing their bathroom requirements publicly. Instead, they discreetly excuse themselves by saying, "Excuse me," and quietly making their way to the restroom. Whether it's during a meal or any other event, they adhere to these protocols to maintain their dignified image. Historically, etiquette and manners have played a crucial role in royal circles. Public displays of personal functions were considered improper and unsuitable for individuals for high social standing. As such, royals were expected to be discreet and maintain a certain level of privacy, even in seemingly mundane situations like using the restroom. Number 7. Say no to rude. In the royal family, women are expected to maintain a specific and graceful sitting posture. There's no room for casual flopping down on chairs. To observe the proper etiquette, royal ladies like Kate Middleton and Princess Diana provide visual examples of the appropriate way to sit. Crossing legs at the knees is not permitted. Instead, their legs should be kept together, and if they wish to cross them, it must be done at the ankles. Another technique known as the Duchess plant involves leaning the body to the side, which not only ensures impeccable posture but also creates the illusion of longer legs. Throughout history, royal women have been scrutinized for their appearance and behavior, and adhering to proper posture was seen inessential to convey an image of grace and refinement. The prohibition of crossing legs at the knees, for instance, is believed to have its origins in Victoria era norms, when crossing legs in this manner was considered indecorous and unbecoming for women of higher social standing. By keeping their legs together or crossing them at the ankles, royal women conformed to traditional standards of decorum. Number 8. Black. Within the royal family, the color black holds a specific significance as it traditionally associated with mourning. As a result, family members, including children, are generally not permitted to wear black attire during daytime events. However, there are exceptions to this rule, as exemplified by Prince George when he served as a page boy at his uncle's wedding and wore a military suit. The use of black clothing as a symbol of mourning has been a deeply ingrained tradition in many cultures, including royal families. Black attire is often worn during periods of bereavement as a way to show respect for the deceased and to signify the family's grief. This practice has been prevalent in royal households and aristocratic circles for centuries. Number 9. A wet nurse. In the past, most royal children were breastfed, but the long tradition of hiring nannies for mothers is no longer in the modern royal family. Wet nurses were women hired to breastfeed and nurture the royal offspring, and historically, many lactating women were employed to fulfill this role. These women were carefully selected based on their good character and healthy appearance, as these factors were considered crucial in choosing suitable wet nurses for the royal children. The practice of employing wet nurses dates back centuries and was prevalent in royal households and noble families across different cultures. It served various purposes, including ensuring that royal mothers were not burdened with the constant demands of breastfeeding, allowing them to focus on their other duties and responsibilities. Wet nurses were also chosen for their ability to provide the best nourishment and care for the royal children. Princess Diana played a significant role in breaking with this tradition when she insisted on nursing her sons, Prince William and Prince Harry herself. Her decision to breastfeed her children was seen as a departure from the historical practice of employing wet nurses and was seen as a more intimate and hands-on approach to motherhood. Number 10. Don't turn your back. When in the presence of the Queen, it is essential never to turn one's back on her. Such an action is considered impolite and disrespectful, and it is customary for individuals to face her directly or stand beside her during interactions. This etiquette rule is ingrained in royal protocol and must be followed by anyone who has the privilege of meeting the monarch. An example of how this protocol was observed can be seen when former US President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle paid a visit to the Queen. Before their meeting, they were briefed on the various rules and protocols of the royal family, including prohibition against turning their backs to the Queen. As a result, they made a conscious effort to ensure they faced the Queen or stood alongside her whenever they interacted, respecting the royal tradition and adhering to the established etiquette. Number 11. Outdated rules. Throughout centuries, fabric diapers were the norm for all royal infants, which were diligently washed and reused. However, as time passed, some royal mothers opted to diverge from this long-standing tradition. Princess Diana, in particular, was a trailblazer in breaking numerous royal customs, one of which included abandoning the use of cloth nappies. Instead, she embraced disposable diapers for her sons William and Harry, a departure from the clothed nappies used by previous generations of royals. Princess Diana's decision to forgo cloth nappies was part of a broader trend of modernization and practically in childcare practices within the royal family. While cloth diapers had been a traditional and environmentally friendly option for centuries, the introduction of disposable diapers brought convenience and ease in handling diaper changes, especially for busy royal parents. The choice to give birth in a hospital rather than at home was a customary for royal births, was another significant departure made by Princess Diana. This decision reflected a broader shift towards modern medical practices and a desire for safer and more controlled childbirth experiences. Princess Diana's willingness to challenge conventional royal practices and embrace modern alternatives was seen as a refreshing departure from the rigid protocols of the past. Her choices influenced subsequent generations of the royal family, demonstrating a more progressive and adaptable approach to childcare and childbirth. Number 12. A cumbersome rule when drinking tea. In royal circles, there is a specific way to hold a teacup that adheres to strict etiquette rules. Members of the royal family are instructed to use their index finger and thumb to delicately pinch the teacup's handle, while their middle finger gently supports the bottom. According to Mayer, a royal etiquette expert, it is essential to keep the cup handle positioned at 3 o'clock for proper decorum. Moreover, for women, taking a sip from the same spot each time is recommended to prevent lipstick stains on the rim. These intricate rules might seem excessive, but they reflect the historical importance of tea ceremonies and the symbolism associated with them. In life, tea has held a significant cultural and social significance in various societies, including royal courts. The way tea is served and consumed has been the subject to elaborate rituals and customs, reflecting the values and social norms of the time. In royal households, these ceremonies were often used to demonstrate hospitality and refinement and adhering to strict etiquette as a way to display one's sophistication and familiarity with courtly manners. Number 13. A torn dress. Every time a new baby is baptized by the head of the English church, they are dressed in a highly specific outfit that holds significant historical importance. This delicate dress, made of flowy lace and satin, has been used in royal baptism since as far back as 1841. Given its extensive history, it is not surprising that the dress began to show signs of wear and tear as the years passed by. To preserve the tradition and ensure that the precious gown could continue to be used for future royal baptisms, Queen Elizabeth II took a proactive step in 2015. She commissioned a skilled dressmaker to meticulously recreate an exact duplicate of the traditional dress, just in time for Princess Charlotte's baptism. Although the new gown wasn't the original piece that had been worn by over 60 different royal babies, it was crafted to be nearly identical copy, upholding the cherished legacy of the historic garment. Number 14. Royal Handshake. Royals are taught a highly specific protocol for handshaking, reflecting their role as dignitaries and representatives of the monarchy. When engaging in handshake, they are instructed to maintain direct eye contact with the person in front of them while firmly grasping their hand. The handshake is kept brief, usually limited to 1 or 2 shakes, and never extended beyond that. To add a touch of regal charm, they are encouraged to accompany the handshake with their signature royal smile. The tradition of the royal handshake is not exclusive to royals themselves. It is a practice that can be adopted and applied by anyone in their interactions. The art of a gracious handshake has been a part of social etiquette for centuries and is not limited to royal circles. Number 15. Strict process for sample storm selection. If you have ever aspired to become a royal babysitter, you must possess exceptional qualifications to even be considered for the position. The hiring process within the royal family is taken seriously, and they meticulously ensure that every member of the royal household is a perfect fit for the unique roles and responsibilities. Maintaining the family's long standing traditions is paramount, and the nanny appointed to take care for the royal child must possess exceptional communication skills. Additionally, having some background in martial arts is considered advantageous for a royal nanny. This skill set provides an added layer of protection and preparedness should any unforeseen security situation arise. A notable example of the royal family's commitment to their child's safety is evident in the hiring of a nanny named Maria by the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. Maria's qualifications included being skilled in taekwondo, a martial art known for its focus on self defense techniques. This choice highlights the family's dedication to ensuring the utmost security for their children. In addition to her martial arts skills, Maria underwent training on how to navigate through the challenges posed by paparazzi, including employing evasive driving techniques. This is a reflection of the intense media scrutiny faced by the royal family and their efforts to protect their children's privacy and well being. Number 16. Bowing gesture. When in the presence of the Queen, both men and women are expected to adhere to traditional and formal greeting customs. Men demonstrate their respect by executing a neck bow from the head only, while women are instructed to perform a small curtsy. The duration of the curtsy can convey varying degrees of respect, with a longer curtsy being seen as a particularly differential. In the provided picture, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge can be seen greeting the Queen with genuine happiness, while upholding the respectful and customary gestures. These traditional greeting gestures are not limited to British individuals. Anyone meeting the Queen, regardless of nationality, can employ these customs as a sign of respect and acknowledgement of her status as a reigning monarch. Of course, if the Queen is not your head of state, you don't have to follow these rules. Number 17. Outfits with shorts. Prince George's wardrobe choices have been dictated by a long-standing royal tradition that dates back generations. Like all royal babies before him, he is dressed in a manner that adheres to this time-honored practice. According to the royal protocol, trousers and pants are reserved exclusively for adults, and young princes, like George, are expected to wear shorts, regardless of the weather, even in chilly conditions. This adherence to tradition means that Prince George will continue to sport his charming little shorts until he reaches the age of 8. It is only at this point that he will be deemed old enough to transition to wearing trousers. This practice echoes the way his father, Prince William, was dressed during the early years of his life, following the same royal custom. Number 18. Underwear when traveling. When the royal family embarks on their travels, they follow a meticulous packing protocol, especially concerning the attire of the children. Prince George's luggage is expected to include a minimum of 5 pairs of shorts in various colors. Princess Charlotte must have at least 10 barrettes, and the Duchess must have at least 2 pairs of beige pumps. Additionally, each member of the royal family is required to pack an all-black morning outfit when traveling abroad. This preparation is essential to meet the unforeseen circumstance of a relative's passing while they are away from home. This somber attire ensures that upon their return to the UK, they will already be dressed respectfully and appropriately to pay their condolences and attend mourning ceremonies. The inclusion of specific garments and accessories in their luggage showcases the attention to detail and foresight which the royal family approaches their travels. This level of preparation is not merely a matter of personal preference, but also demonstrates the royal family's awareness of their role as representatives of monarchy and the UK, both at home and abroad. It's great that you have watched this video until the end. How much do you know in it? Let us know by commenting below. Like, share, and subscribe to keep up to date with videos on the same topics that you love. See you in the next videos.